Gotta tell you about my day. Remember my love for those hidden rooftop views around our city? You won't believe I found another gem today. And oh boy, the view, the skyline of our city at sunset. Pure poetry in color and light. Just imagine all those architectural silhouettes casting long, intricate shadows as the sun dips behind the high-rises. I think I might have just snapped the best panoramic shot in my urban photography journey so far. Trust me, there's an indescribable charm in painting the city with the varied hues of a setting sun, from the calm yellows and the deep oranges to the vibrant pinks and purples, all transitioning into the quiet blues of twilight. It was one of those moments when you realize, even in the hustle and bustle of this digital age, nature paints the best 3D landscapes. Talk about VR rigging, huh? And you know what was the cherry on top? My techie friends and their love for my camera's work, bless their geeky hearts. I shared the picture with them, and Eric, our graphics guru, couldn't resist asking for the photo, probably to stick a TurboTech logo on it. I caught him there, though. Then out of nowhere, Nina popped up with this idea. Me streaming a photography session on Twitch. Wow, right? It's crazy enough to work, given it's a stark detour from my gaming streams, but then life's too short to not give new things a whirl. Besides, how cool would it be to reveal the hidden rooftop gems I hunt down across NYC with my online family, live on stream? Can already feel the adrenaline rush thinking about it, and the looming fear of pigeons pooping on my gear. Yeah, did I tell you I had to dodge a flock today for my shot? The wild, wild life of NYC. So, seems like my Twitch stream will now host these mini adventures on top of my gaming sagas, capturing the cityscapes while dodging birds, and possibly people who'd rather keep their rooftops private. Who'd have thought, right? Eric thinks it'd skyrocket my follower count, and I'm not entirely off his bandwagon. Hope is the last thing to let go after all. Nina's all sorts of excited to see a behind-the-scenes tour of my rooftop expeditions. Kinda exciting thinking about it now, streaming these scenic explorations in the heart of our concrete jungle. After years of painting virtual realities, it'll be refreshing to share reality on my stream. Speaking of reality, I've been eyeing this new post-rock album released today. Very moody, very atmospheric, right up my alley. Might be some good music for sketching tonight. The whole harmony and chaos vibe. Sounds like they've captured the essence of our city in their notes, too. You might want to give it a listen while chilling out. Okay, need to get back to setting up this new graphics card I got for my rig. Apparently, it has crispier shadows, whatever that means. Got to touch base with Eric later regarding this. So I've embarked on a new digital adventure, and boy oh boy, it's something else. I got to play around with a shiny new VR gadget today that basically lets you sketch in 3D. And you know me, I couldn't resist testing out my artistry with it. Picture this, I've been doodling my heart out watching the 2D lines transforming into intricate 3D structures right before my eyes. And if I can say so myself, the designs are looking pretty stellar. The reaction in the group was absolutely bonkers. Nina, bless her, immediately dived into our gaming world and suggested I create a mini-game using my 3D sketches. Can you imagine me designing my own video game universe? Well, it's happening now. Want to know the best part? Eric, our ever-competitive buddy, is ready to battle me in my own virtual world. Now that's a showdown I am super stoked for. Oh, and we're having a Food and Birdman marathon tomorrow. Sushi for dinner and a sci-fi movie, Galaxy Prisoners, after that. Sounds like a perfect Saturday night, right? Apart from that, Eric and Nina were right there with their usual antics spicing up the group chat. I swear those two never failed to put a smile on my face. Nina's always there with her wise one-liners and Eric's feigned innocence about my tech obsession. It's our endearing geek duo in a nutshell. And we know, a day without tech talk is a day wasted for me. So here's a little nugget. This VR gadget I've been experimenting with, it feels like all my tech-savvy dreams come true at once. A device to indulge in my tech obsession and feed my artistic passion, it's basically like I've struck gold. And since we're confessing here, I'm already imagining hosting a live Twitch session. showcasing my fun project of designing this VR minigame. Actually, we might add a new audience to my Twitch family, thanks to Nina's brainwave and my budding obsession with this gadget. You've got to be there to cheer me on, plus who knows. I might need you to send out a search party if I get lost in my own digital universe. Speaking of lost, I should get back to my artful creations. Though I think my eyes need a small break. You know a girl's gotta rest her optics in this VR game. I'd suggest you run a few laps in the park, get some fresh air. Oh, and don't forget to grab a bubble tea. Think of it as a mini adventure without the VR glasses. Minutes in reality can sometimes be a welcome change for your favorite digital artist, don't you think? I'll send you a sneak peek of my first 3D sketch soon. Think of an abstract geometrical structure with futuristic vibes. I've put in a couple of unusual shapes and patterns to give it an edgy twist. Yeah, a little suspense never hurt anyone. But for now, it's time for me to dive back into my own little 3D world. So I'll catch you later, on the flip side. And there I was, feeling the rhythm of the Brazilian beats in a VR festival. Can you imagine that? It was a life-sized 3D rendition of a Brazilian fest, and I was right smack in the middle of it. The energy, the colors, the culture, I swear, I could almost smell the street foods, hear the samba drums, and see the capoeira dancers in their vibrant outfits. I had Sophia as my guide throughout the journey. Yep, that's Sophia, the cultural guide who's been helping me explore different cultures virtually. Trust her to deep dive into all the festivities, exposing me to the magical elements that make this festival so iconic. It's unbelievable how immersive these VR experiences can be. You know me, always a sucker for all things tech and digital art. But this was something else. I took some artistic inspirations from the festival for my VR project. Yeah, you heard that right. I'm thinking of a fusion to culture meets digital art. Unique, don't you think? Using virtual models inspired by real physical locations and events is an idea I am digging. So Eric and Nina couldn't help but get all hyped up over this idea, and we ended up plotting a virtual world tour. Louvre, Great Wall of China, Australian Outback, you name it. The future of our group's virtual escapades looks promising, doesn't it? Oh, and trust Nina to come up with the most outlandish locations. Australian Outback, I mean, really? But you know what? That's the essence of our group, isn't it? The unpredictability and spur-of-the-moment plans. Speaking of unpredictability, I've been listening to this post-punk band lately. Super edgy yet atmospheric, you'd probably enjoy their tracks. Reminds me of the time we ended up at that obscure indie music festival. Such carefree times. Now I'm raring to dive back into more virtual adventures. You never know what sort of artistic inspiration you might find in the most unexpected of places. Maybe a virtual tour of the Egyptian pyramids next? Or a trip through the bustling markets of Marrakesh. The options do seem plentiful, don't they? Before I forget, you absolutely have to join us on our next VR escapade. All right, my digital muse calls for me.